I put Kevin Durant's career in reverse, meaning that in 2007, he will be starting off his career with the Phoenix Suns instead of starting off with OKC. And he got off to a great start, winning Rookie of the Year in his first season, averaging over 20 points per game, and doing so on great efficiency. Even better, we were the number 2 seed, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans in round 1, and we were able to beat them in 5 games. We moved on to face the Utah Jazz. And while their team is solid, I don't think that they're better than the Pelicans team that we just beat. And we're the number 2 seed, so we go ahead and we beat them in a gentleman's sweep. Our final opponent was the Los Angeles Clippers. And the Clippers, they gave us some competition. But we ended up beating them in 6 to move on to the finals to face Gilbert Arenas, who was averaging like 50 and 10 for the Washington Wizards. What? He's putting up video game numbers right now. I guess because we're in the video game. But Gilbert, he was just too good. He took us down. I don't really know what we were supposed to do. We ended up losing in 6 games to the Washington Wizards in the NBA Finals. But a strong start to KD's career, considering that this was just his rookie season and he made the finals. But now it's time to move on to his next team, the Brooklyn Nets. And the supporting cast on the Brooklyn Nets is not there at all. But that meant KD had to turn it up. He averaged over 35 points per game and winning the most improved player in his second season. And the Nets even ended up making it into the playoffs as the 7th seed. In round number 1, they were taking on the Chicago Bulls, led by the man with the best hair in the league, Richard Jefferson. And surprisingly, they pulled off the upset, beating the Bulls in 6. Now we're moving on to take on the Milwaukee Bucks, who picked up Dwight Howard. And with such a great big in the front court, we couldn't take them down. And we ended up losing. But no blame to KD. He was doing his thing. He was great. And in the offseason, we ended up picking up Michael Redd, an 88 overall player, to play alongside Kevin Durant. So the supporting cast is definitely much better. And with Kevin Durant continuing to put up some huge numbers, I think that this year we should be even better. We're taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers in round number 1, and they got up 3-1 against us, but we fought all the way back to force a Game 7. And in Game 7, we were able to pull out the win. A huge win for Kevin Durant, and he really came up in the clutch for us. But now we've got to take on LeBron James and Chris Bosh on the Toronto Raptors. This series was all tied up at 2 apiece heading into game number 5. And in this game, the Toronto Raptors with LeBron James end up blowing us out in game 5. But we've been down in series before, so we came right back and won game 6. And in game 7, we ended up with a very close one with our season on the line. LeBron James got down the lane for a layup to go ahead and put his Raptors up 3. Let's see if KD has an answer. Durant's going to pass it out. Let's just give the ball to KD and let him cook. Because you see what happens when you give the ball to his teammates. He just got packed. Come on, KD. Go to work. Durant's going to get a screen. He's going to try to pull a jumper here. And he gets packed. Never mind. Don't let KD cook. That's a shot clock violation. Luckily, though, we're able to get a stop on the defensive side of the ball, meaning that it is still a 1-possession game. We've just got to get a bucket here, and we'll pretty much be good to go. And KD's going to try to get it, but he misses once again. And the Toronto Raptors have another chance to get this game further out of reach for us. And they're going to pull a tough step back that misses. So they're giving us every opportunity here to try and get back in this. And Kevin Durant, once again, is going to try to score, and he got snatch blocked. Bro, GG. He's just getting cooked. And now the Raptors are going to get to the free throw line. Man, it might be over. Bro, KD just got destroyed there. And Toronto's going to convert on both free throws. Kevin Durant is cold now. He's got one more chance at it here if he could, like, hit a 3 or something. He steps back from mid-range, and he missed it. Wow, what a terrible performance from Kevin Durant in the clutch. And coming off of this performance, it feels like a great time to beg for subscribers, so if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. KD only was active for 2 years in Brooklyn. He was injured for one, but injuries are off in this sim, so I let him run it another year with Brooklyn. They lost in the first round anyway. Now it's time to move on to Golden State, where he'll be playing alongside guys like Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, DeAndre Jordan, Serge Ibaka. He's definitely got some good teammates, and keep in mind, he'll be moving on to OKC later on, and Russ in this sim ended up getting drafted by the Thunder, so KD will be there soon. We'll have to see if Russ is still there. In round number 1, we're taking on the Pelicans, and we're going to lose in 6. Yeah, Kevin Durant's trying, he's scoring a lot, but they just weren't able to get the job done here. It's time for his final year in Golden State. His Warriors tenure was pretty quick in real life. We're going to go ahead and beat the Grizzlies in round number 1 and move on to face the Houston Rockets. And this one is going to be a competitive 7-game series. In game 7, though, we are going to come out on top. So KD is about to be in the conference finals with the Golden State Warriors. This is a solid team that he's on, and we'll have to see if he can make it to the NBA Finals. This Lakers team is definitely tough, though. Kobe's not on the squad, but they got KG and Powell in the front court, and that proved to be too much. We lost. Actually, it was Mike Conley cooking us, apparently. But now it's time to move on to OKC. They not only have Russ, but they have DeRozan, Caron Butler, Nick Colliston, Tristan Thompson. Oh man, and KD's cooking. He won an MVP in his first year with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He even made it back to the conference finals to get a rematch against the Los Angeles Lakers. Will KD be able to beat this team with a better supporting cast? It doesn't look like it, as we're down 3-1 in the series and we end up losing in 6 games. Mike Conley just continues to cook us. And in the offseason, we pretty much kept a lot of our guys, so we should be good to go for another year, or so I thought. We're down 3-2 in the first round and end up losing in 6 this year. Coming off of a conference finals appearance, losing in the first round is disappointing. But again, we have a solid team, so hopefully we'll be able to do something this year. Russ was named the MVP of the league, 2 of the most dominant players in the league playing alongside each other in Russ and KD. And they're back in the conference finals. This time, we're going to be taking on the Phoenix Suns. They've got Kawhi, they've got Josh Smith, and that was just too much for us early on. We were down 3-0, but we took a couple games, and that gave me a bit of false hope, but we ended up losing in 6. Kawhi Leonard took us down. So the OKC tenure hasn't been as successful as I would have hoped, but there's still time left. Kevin Durant will be spending the rest of the time of this reverse simulation in OKC. He goes ahead and takes home another MVP with the Thunder. Him and Russ are kind of just trading off at this point, and he's back in the conference finals. This time he's taking on the Utah Jazz, who have Kobe Bryant. And we were able to gentleman sweep them and finally make it to the NBA Finals once again. He hasn't been here since his rookie season. And this Pacers team is tough. Despite starting off with a 3-0 lead, the Pacers were able to force a Game 6, and we don't want this to go to 7. Luckily, our team came up clutch and we were able to get the win, securing Kevin Durant's first NBA championship, and KD was even named the Finals MVP. After this ring, Russell Westbrook would move on though. We didn't offer him a new deal and instead ended up offering D Wade. I let the CPU make these decisions in the sim, but this seemed like a confusing one because Russ, he was so good for us, but now Kevin Durant is going to have to try and win a chip with an old D Wade. And KD continues to do his thing, winning the MVP of the league, and we were even the number 1 seed. But the thing is, Russ isn't here anymore, and that made the playoffs so much tougher. We lost in 6 games to the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. We are a 1 seed who just lost to an 8 seed. And after this, to add insult to injury, Dwayne Wade continues to get worse. And this is going to be rough. I mean, Kevin Durant continues to do his thing, winning the MVP of the league once again. He's cooking. but we lose to a lower seed in the first round for the second year in a row. And Dwayne Wade just gets older and older. We did pick up a big man named Herbert Burke, and it seems like he at least helped us a little bit because we made it out of the first round, and we're in round 2 against the Houston Rockets. This Rockets team is solid. They've got a good front court. They've got Chris Paul, and this one ended up going to a Game 7. In Game 7, can we come up clutch? We can. We're back in the conference finals, so maybe that Herbert Burke pickup, an auto-generated big, maybe he was the missing piece for us all along. We're moving on to the Western Conference Finals, where we're taking on the Lakers, and that's where our season would end. We would lose in a gentleman's sweep. We just lost to George Hill. Losing to George Hill is crazy, and old D Wade is still on this team. We did make it into the playoffs, but once again, we lost in round number 1. Luckily, D Wade is finally off of the squad, but we kind of needed him. We at least needed to replace him, but we didn't sign anybody. Now we're in the play-in tournament, and we lost once again. And now we're heading into Kevin Durant's final season. This brings us up to the modern day. And this final run would be different. We ended up making it out of the first round, and in round number 2, we're taking on a stacked Dallas Mavericks team, but somehow we sweep them. Just like that, we're in the conference finals taking on the Lakers. I feel like we faced the Lakers so many times in this video. And this would be a back and forth series. In game number 5, a game that can be a momentum shifter, the Lakers ended up winning. But in game 6, we had a close one, and we needed to win this one to keep our season alive. Kevin Durant takes the mid-range jumper and drains it. KD's trying to keep the season alive. He's got 38 points on the night. And on the defensive side of the ball, I don't even know what they're trying to do, what the Lakers are trying to do. We were able to get the stop there, and now we're going to KD once again. KD in his bag, pulls the 3, bang! It doesn't matter if you try to contest him. He's up to 41 points. He's got 18 in the 4th, and the Lakers, they're falling apart. The KD masterclass is too much for them. Kevin Durant absolutely cooking. Even his teammates are getting involved. The little step back jumper is good, and this one is over. We're at least going to go to a game 7, and we'll have a chance to make the NBA Finals in KD's final season. And in game 7, we ride the momentum from game 6 to make it. And look at Kevin Durant. Not a huge game, but you know what? We'll take it. We're here, and we're taking on a stacked Magic team. They've got Ja, AD, Steph. Yeah, we might be cooked. We're down 3-0. We take a game at least, but they gentlemen sweep us. Overall, KD won 4 MVPs and 1 ring. That's it for the video. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.